All right now. Hello, 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 everybody. Happy day, happy day, happy day. Yes, we're going live a little bit earlier on today. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I tell you guys to go ahead and hit that notification bell so that whenever we do go live, that you will not miss a beat. Because listen, uh-oh, you hear the feedback. All right, so we are live cooking with grease. We live cooking with grease. All right, so let me go ahead and do a little house. I like to call it house cleaning, making sure that everybody can see and hear on the various social media platforms that we are on, so that we can go ahead and jump into this morning motivation on today. And I am going to check the comments in a moment. In a moment. We're gonna start this Monday off speaking about something that no matter what walk of life, what religion, what color, what financial status you have, everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through this. The only difference is that everybody don't admit it, but everybody has it. And most of the time, people feel like um, if a person is successful, they don't have this. But this is something that is universal. This type of emotion, right? And that is what we're going to discuss on today. All right. Oh, hey, Mr. H, how are you this morning? It's time for morning motivation. Thumbs up, like button activated. Thank you, thank you. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a commercial break right quick, and then once we take the commercial break, we're gonna dive right in to this discussion that we're gonna have today on this morning motivation kick starting. You know, I need to drink another mouthful of coffee because apparently my tongue is not awake. I'm not awake. I'm not awake. So I'm gonna take a commercial break. And we're going to come back and we're going to dive right into this topic. For those of you who are just tuning in, that you're listening to this voice. All right, I am Dr. Tina J. Rams, and this is CTR Media Network Morning Motivation. This is designed to fuel your life and your business to help kickstart your beginning of your day in a way of positivity, okay? And also giving you tips and strategies and action steps. If you don't have anyone supportive within your circle, then we would like to be that for you. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and I want you, just like Mr. H said, like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And when I see your comment, I'm going to say, hey, y'all, hey. So let me go ahead and take this commercial break, and we will be back in a moment.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment, a perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters, and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, I want to learn more. Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.
All right, all right. And just like that, we are back. Thank you, Mr. H. So normally, the love of my life, Curtis, he handles approving moderators and all that stuff like that. But on today, we have a new moderator in the building, one of our CTR writers, Mr. H. So go ahead, you put it in the comment, and I saw it, and so you can handle that, bruh. You can handle that, bruh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome to the live, Brent. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live. Yeah. Yeah. God is the greatest. God is the greatest. So today we're going to talk about this topic at hand that everybody, no matter what walk of life, what religion, what color, what background, how you was raised, how you weren't raised, everybody, whether you're successful or not, or you feel like you're not. I feel like everybody's successful within a certain measure, but of course that can be debatable. But it is self-doubt. Self-doubt is one of those, I call it, little creepy emotions that even when you feel like you're doing good, or you may feel like this is the first time in your life you was able to master a certain thing, it is still one of the biggest barriers that you have to tackle, because no matter how good you think you are, this self-doubt will still creep in. This is something that is universal, because whether you are good at something, or you feel like you're great or phenomenal, whether you feel like you're talented at something, or you're more than capable, maybe you're highly educated and you've been able to have a measure of success, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about this self doubt. We are going to tackle some things that you can actually do, that when this little pesky little emotion of self doubt start creeping up in your mind, start making you feel like that you're not worthy, you can't keep going, you should stop, nobody cares, yada, yada, yada. We're going to stop this. We're going to stop this on today. We're going to stop this on today. Hello, Samuel. What's going on? He said, what's up? Hey, we are doing amazing. We're going to talk about creeping out this self-doubt. Let me pop up some of the good, the positivity that's in the room. And so we're going to talk about that. So self-doubt is that nagging voice that's in your head that's telling you that you're not enough. This is a thing that people don't realize. This feeling of self-doubt, it's normal to feel that way. It's normal. That don't mean something's wrong with you, something wrong with your mental stability. Everybody feels like this at some time. The thing is that some people stay within this mindset, allowing this feeling to totally corrupt their whole mind, day, and life. And see, that's what we don't want you to do. Because I even have self-doubt. You know, I put myself in a scenario, in a situation when it's necessary. Because I want you to see and want you to understand that it's just not you. I feel it too. I feel it too. But it's important not to let that stop you from pursuing your goals or to keep moving forward, because overcoming self doubt is just simply about rewriting your mindset, rewiring it to think differently. So when that emotion, because it will more than one time, sometimes multiple times within one day, it's going to creep up, but you have to rewire your mindset and take consistent action steps that despite the doubt, despite the fear, that you're going to keep moving forward. So how can you do that yourself? That's the thing. Because many people say, well, I mean, I need some action steps. I don't really know how I could do that myself, because my self-doubt is so crippling, so strong. I just don't know. Well, guess what? You sure can do this by yourself. So the first thing is you need to just understand what self-doubt is and what that feeling. So one thing that I had to learn, and I had to sit back and pull myself from a situation where you have to be within that even if you don't like that emotion, you have to be within that emotion. You have to allow yourself to feel how it feels, allow yourself to pay attention to the mannerisms, the personality, the way that you act when this emotion is overwhelming you, so that the next time it happens, you'll be able to get that trigger where you'll know, oh man, I'm going into this downward spiral of self-doubt. I'm going into this fear. I'm going into this. Okay, I remember how this feels. I remember the reaction or how I respond to things when I'm in this self-doubt, this fear mindset. And then that's how you're going to be able to start overcoming it and not waddling in the self-doubt and the fear for too long. Okay. But first, you do have to allow yourself to feel that feeling and to acknowledge that it exists. Because if you're trying to act like, oh, I never have self doubt, oh, I never have fear, when every human being on the face of the planet feels that, and sometimes more than one time during the day, then you cannot overcome it until you admit that it's actually happening within your life. And so for me, I had to admit my self doubt. I had to admit my fear. I had to admit it in order for me to overcome it, allow myself to feel the feeling, and also allow myself to go through the emotions so that I can identify how it actually changed my mood, my mind, the way I talk, the way I think, who I'm around, all of this stuff, because I had to do a mental write up on myself. Yeah, a mental observation of myself to see, like, okay, when I'm like this, I respond like that. Why do I do that? Where does it stem from, right? And how can I stop it in its tracks so that it will not keep going on and on and on and on, repeating the same type of behavior? So the first thing that you got to do, like I said, is understanding what self-doubt is and allowing yourself to healthy go through the emotions so that you can understand what's going on. The first thing you need after you do that, you need to recognize that self doubt is a universal feeling, point blank. Even among highly successful people, everybody feels it. Now, whether or not a highly successful person will admit it to you or not, now that's a whole different situation. But everybody goes through it. Everybody feels it. It's not something that is just isolated to a certain group of people. It's the entire world. So I think we got like 5 or 8 million people on the face of the earth now. So all 8 million, I mean, not million, billion, we feel it. And so tip two, let me check the comments. Let me check the comments. Ethan said, I need help with this big time. I think you mean girlfriend is currently trying to leave me because of my self-doubt and my inability to get back into the groove. Just another not human. Yeah, and then go to talk to another woman and get that confidence destroyed. Oh, I guess he's talking to you, Ethan. So, Ethan, these are some steps that you can take. Take small steps, because the thing is, self-doubt, the feeling of fear and failure are such strong emotions that if you not take yourself without the moment to be able to see what it is, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to remove yourself, because it's one of those emotions that we don't like to feel, but we feel helpless when we're going through it. And so this episode is all about removing the feeling of you feeling helpless when you're going through an onslaught of self-doubt and fear. These are some tips. So, Ethan, the first thing you need to do, and which you already did because you just said it. I don't know if you realize you did it, but by you just typing and being totally honest and transparent with yourself right now, that was the first step. You recognize that you deal with self doubt and you have this feeling. So, the second thing that you need to do is to identify what is the root cause of why you feel all of this self doubt, why you feel this fear of failure, why do you fear judgment, why do you feel a lack of preparation? Why is it that when you're going through this feeling of self-doubt, it makes you paralyzed where you cannot move another step? Despite you probably feeling deep in your spirit that you want to move forward, you want to do better, you want to be able to get yourself out of the rut. Uh-huh. I used to deal with that. I mean, I wanted to be able to bounce back so quickly, but back in the day, especially when I was in my 20s, my teens and 20s, oh my God, I used to deal with such crippling depression. I mean, so much so, people, that I had to take medication. I'm gonna keep it totally 100. I used to deal with depression because I was a people pleaser to the maximum, so much that I used to worry all the time. I always had self-doubt, but I let it go too far to the fact that I personally need that I took the medication, right? Now, what it did, it made that feeling go away. Well, it masked that feeling. I'm speaking from my personal experience, but I still had the problem because for me, the medication didn't help me work through my problem. It just kind of covered over it where it wouldn't allow my mind to think about it. And I did not like the feeling that I had when I was on the antidepressant medication, that it was like my brain was blank. I couldn't really think clearly. Now, with some people, it works very well, but for me, it wasn't a good thing for me. But if you need the medication, hey, and it works for you, take it. That's what I say. But if it don't really work for you, I had to find natural stuff and change my diet, and then that helped me a whole lot better. But I used to stay crippling depressed and couldn't move. You kind of remind me of myself when I read your comment when I was in my early 20s. And that's a very, being a teenager in your 20s, you feel like it's the end of the world if someone don't like you, if you can't make everybody happy. But when you start getting in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, you realize, man, that ain't nothing. So with time, you're gonna grow. The third tip is that you need to reframe your self doubt as an opportunity for you to grow. So, anytime that you feel those crippling feelings of self doubt, you're feeling like you're not capable, you're feeling that strong, paralyzing feeling of fear that stops you from moving forward. You just need to reframe your mind. You need to reframe self doubt as not something to stop you, but as an opportunity for you to grow and being able to fix or work through or overcome whatever it is that's causing you to have that inactivity. Because every challenge that you have in your life is just a chance for you to prove to yourself that you're wrong. If you feel like I want to start this business and everything in your body, everything in your mind, that self-doubt, that fear is telling you you can't do it because you're not smart enough, because you don't have enough money, because you don't have enough support, because you don't know what you're doing. You just have an idea that you want to start a business and you feel like you start going into that self-doubt that you can't do it. I want you to stop that wrong thinking. I challenge you to start taking and making that self-doubt as an opportunity for you to grow and the alarm for you to keep moving. That is your anchor. If you're feeling all of this self-doubt on certain things that you know is not a bad thing, that's a good thing for you, and you're still wallowing in self-doubt, that is a great indicator that you still need to move forward. Now, the pace that you move forward is going to vary from person to person. Whereas one person going to be moving like Speedy Gonzalez, and then one person is going to be moving very slow like a turtle, step by step. It don't matter as long as you're moving. All right, as long as you move. So let me go ahead and check the comments. Check the comments. Benjamin said, "Everybody is not feeling me." Listen, you're not trying to help everybody to feel you. Just focus on the people that's within your circle that really, really matters to you. You're gonna have to learn to disconnect yourself from feeling like you have to make everybody happy. The reason why, when I was younger, I used to be so chronically depressed because number one, I don't like drama. I don't like conflict. And number two, how I thought being a young person to solve a problem would be just to avoid conflict and drama. I felt that the only solution that I had was to be a yes woman, was to be a person that just agree with just about everything that people say, just to avoid conflict, which means that in the haste of that, trying to make everybody else happy, I was internally miserable because I wasn't letting my light shine. I wasn't uh, being my true, authentic self. I was masking my behavior and my true feelings in every single scenario, every single person, because I did not want conflict. I did not want anyone to be sad. I did not want anyone to think bad of me when I was in my teens and early 20s. And I did not realize every single time I allowed myself not to be my authentic self, it took away from who I was at my core. And that is what made me so chronically depressed. When I got into my 30s, I really started self-evaluating myself and how I move in the world, right? And I realized that I was so stuck in that people pleasing mindset that I forgot about the most important person, myself. So even though I was over here making everybody else happy. People saying, "Oh, Tina is the best. She picked me up. She cooked my food. She did this. She did that." Now, most of the time, sometimes it was some things that I did not want to do, but I just didn't want to make nobody sad, so I did it anyway, even though it was not good for me. Meaning, I had other stuff that I need to do. I would push back, postpone, not do my stuff in order to do everybody else stuff because they knew whatever they asked, I was gonna do. So that developed a personality where people around me will use me. I mean, use me to the full. But I allowed it. I didn't realize I had the power to say no. I didn't realize that. And through that type of behavior in my teens and my 20s, I was chronically depressed. I was plagued with anxiety and panic attacks 24/7. I was miserable. When I look back on some of my friendships, I can say because I do have some good friendships, more than the ones that wasn't so great. Uh, I could see the pain in my eyes. I could see the pain behind the smile. When I look at those photos, certain photos, I can literally, when I look at it, go back to that emotion that I felt because I was living a lie. I was living a lie. And so this episode is all about you being comfortable with you and making sure that you take care of not being selfish, but taking care of yourself in a way that will allow you to mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever the case may be, grow. You do not have to be a people pleaser and then you forgetting about yourself. That's what I used to do. And so I had to learn that I had to mature to that. And even though I still don't like drama, I still don't like conflict, but I'm if I don't like something, I'm gonna say it in a way. I really work hard to say it in a way that's respectful to the other people or party or group of people of which I'm saying it. I like to say the phrase when it's a heated discussion, I'll say, well, we may agree to disagree, but we will keep it respectful. I respect your opinion. I hope that you will respect mine, but I just don't agree with that. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm saying how I feel and what I'm hearing, it don't agree with me. It may work for somebody else, but it's just not for me. And it's okay. But I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your ideas with me and even expressing how you feel about this particular topic. But to be honest, this is not for me. But I thank you though, and I leave. You have to learn how to reshape the way that you talk to people. And I'm not always good at it because sometimes you get into these heated conversations and then you be like, oh. But I'm saying when you are in control of your emotions, you respond in a better way. So the goal of this is for you to be able to identify these emotions and in essence to stop being a people pleaser. We need to have a whole episode on being a people pleaser because it's a lot of people. I feel personally that the bulk of the world today with the people are mostly people pleasers. I really feel like that. Masking who they truly are in order to blend in order to get along, in order to be able to live, they feel like they have to not be themselves. And that's why I feel like a lot of people are so miserable because I was one of them before I've been released from all of that. buffoonery, because I realized that you should always be on your list of happiness. You should never be at the bottom of your list. I put everybody's needs, wants, desires, dreams, goals, or whatever ahead of mine for a very long time. And did not even know how to help myself because I didn't realize I had a problem until I really sat back and really got quiet with myself and start really evaluating some things about myself. Some things I liked, some things I didn't. And one thing I realized I did not like is that I had that people pleasing spirit. Hmm. And that is a crippling, unattainable, unrealistic way to live your life. And once you start shedding that type of behavior, you will have less self-doubt. You will have less fear when you're going to tackle certain things. Not saying that you're not going to have it at all, but I'm saying it's going to minimize how many times you're going to feel that emotion, because most of this self-doubt, most of this fear is stemmed by the behavior or the reaction of others to what you are doing. To what you are doing. Okay? Let's just keep it real. You start a business, you worrying about what people gonna think. You in a relationship, you worry about what the other person gonna think. You have kids, even though you're a parent, you do worry about what your kids think. You have parents, you worry about what they think. You have business partners, you have friends, you worry about what they think. But you better make sure while you worry about what they think, that you worry about what you think first. But I encourage you not to be worrying about it anyway. Mr. H says, oh, we have Globe Pass says, better broke with your girlfriend. And then Miss H said, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Oh, yeah, I love that saying. A girlfriend who stays with you because of who she is instead of leaving at the first chance is a keeper. Yes, yes, yes. He said, I guess I've been in my 50s for most of my life. He said, because I only cared what God and myself and my household felt about me, and the rest could just take it or leave it. Oh, let me pop it up as I'm saying it, because I want you guys, for those of you that's gonna be watching the replay, you're gonna be able to see all these comments, because you're like, well, what's she reading? I'm reading the comments because I always include you guys in the comments because I appreciate you taking the time to be engaging in this conversation. We have Anthony just said, I'm getting off to this. I think they're trying to say I'm getting out of this, or they're getting out of the tub, but they listening to us. Mr. H said our cancel culture nowadays here in the United States really forces folks into being people pleasers instead of being honest and transparent. It didn't used to be that way. Yeah, we are living in the world where even if you're totally honest and it's not, I would say, the most popular opinion on something that you may feel, that people feel like they need to keep it to themselves. In some cases, you do need to keep certain stuff to yourself. It's just not something that you need to say or do on a public platform. But I tell people all the time, you have to, at your core, you have to do what makes you happy. And even if that means that most people is not going to get it, but you're going to be at peace because you're being your true self. It's certain things that people know that they can come to me and I am just not going to do. I don't care how much money on the table. I don't care what kind of accolades or whatever it is. I don't care. I don't agree with it and I'm not going to do that. Period. Right? But it took me a long time, like my dad said, to be able to stand 10 toes deep, 10 toes down, right? It took me a long time to be able to be comfortable enough with myself to be able to share my honest opinion or my honest feelings about a situation, even when no one else agreed with me. Putting myself first. And it is scary because we do live in the cancel culture where I feel like some things, when it's dealing with people being hateful and vengeful or trying to threaten someone's life, that is something different. But if someone is just honestly just sharing their opinion, even if it's not a popular opinion, I feel like that's another reason why we having all this conflict between different religions, different people and businesses or backgrounds, financial statuses, is because we're not having these true, honest, raw conversations. Sometimes we need to sit down and realize that this conversation may be emotional, but in order for us to really eradicate some of these deep seated, terrible things that we deal with in our country, we're going to have some hard, deep conversations. But both parties have to come in and be mature enough to say, okay, we may agree to disagree, but we're not going to be yelling on the top of our lungs just because I don't agree. We're not going to be disrespectful or trying to say stuff or do stuff that's going to really harm anybody. We're just here trying to figure out why. Why do we feel like this? Where does it stem from? And most importantly, how can we solve this? How can we solve this problem so the next generation will not have to be repeating the same type of behavior that we've been doing for over 400, 500, 600, 700 years? I mean, it's time to let that stuff go. At the end of the day, all of us are human beings. And at the end of the day, I just feel like, especially from being a behavior specialist, it's just that people want to be heard. People want to be respected. People want to be listened to. Even if you don't understand their philosophy behind how they think, they just want to be heard. And due to not feeling like you're being heard or respected, will cause you to act in a way with your behavior that is not ideal because you're simply trying to express emotion, maybe wrong, maybe right, but it all boils down to a lack of communication. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, I mean, that's what I used to do. I was a behavior specialist. I go into schools, figure out what the breakdown of communication was between the parent, the student, from the faculty to the parents, from the student with the faculty, the parents, and the other students. That was my job. And what I just really found out is that in all cases, we are universal in the fact that we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be respected. We would like to be understood by everyone, but realistically, that's not going to happen. But at the end of the day, respect how I feel. You might not agree with it, but that don't mean you have to scream on the top of your lungs, curse me out, or treat me differently just because we have a different perspective. At the end of the day, it's a different perspective. And I feel like if most of us will go to the table with that level of maturity, a lot of our problems will cease to exist. Now, it's going to take some time to fix it, fix all the stuff that we go through as individuals, personally, and as a country, and as different society groups. It's going to take, because it's a lot of hurt. It's a lot of hurt. It's going to take some time, but I do feel like it's possible because I have been in rooms and situations where I felt like two groups will never be able to have a conversation, will never be able to be honest and share their true feelings. And if they did, they will never say anything to each other again. And I have been the communication liaison um, between different parties. And when you go in with that mindset, I have saw where anger turned to love or at least mutual respect, even if you didn't agree with them. And so I know personally from my experience that it's possible. Now, was it a lot of emotions? Was tears? Uh, uh, all of that? Yeah. But sometimes you have to have this deep conversation before um, you can get before you can get a resolution. And sometimes it's going to take more than one time to the table before everything is hashed out. So I want you to imagine you being offered the opportunity to lead a presentation at your job. This is for all my people who work a traditional 9 to 5, because I know sometimes you might feel like I am going and just talking about entrepreneurship because I'm an entrepreneur. But hey, I tell you all the time, listen, I am not above working a 9 to 5 job. Okay. And if you work a 9 to 5 job, it ain't nothing wrong with that. And I tell some entrepreneurs that they need to work a 9 to 5 until their business get where it need to be, keeping it real talk. So let me talk to my peeps who work a traditional 9 to 5. So imagine that you've been offered the opportunity to lead a presentation at work, but you hesitate because you're thinking about all the C-suite, the ones that's on top, the CEO, the COO, and also the people who you rub shoulders with, the other employees, right? And you begin to start feeling self-doubt. Now, this is a topic that you are very well, you understand it very well, but then when you get this opportunity, you start feeling this doubt, you start feeling like you can't do it. You don't know why you start feeling fear of public speaking. You start feeling like you don't speak well enough. You start looking at your body saying, I don't look good enough. I mean, you're just going through all the different reasons of why you should not do this presentation at work. That is self-doubt. That is fear creeping in. But you can overcome it. Just like those action steps that we talked about, which is I'm going to rewind it. Yeah, I'm old because now I'm talking about rewind. Most of my young people don't even know what rewind means. Oh, because y'all ain't never used a cassette player. But anyway, we're going to take it back to the first three tips. Tip one, when you start feeling this feeling of self-doubt, understand it's a universal feeling. All of us feel it. First thing you have to do is to identify that you are at least having this self-doubt, and then you start working through it. The next tip that you need to do, once you recognize that you're going through this self-doubt emotion, you need to identify why are you feeling like this, especially when you are capable of being successful or completing this presentation at work. Is it because you feel fear of failure, fear of judgment, or a lack of preparation that making you feel like that? The next thing is, once you realize this and you already knock those things out, you need to reframe your self-doubt, feeling like you're not capable, but that you're going to fail, and to flipping your mindset to look at this self-doubt as an opportunity for you to grow. And then I want you to challenge yourself and give yourself the chance to prove yourself wrong, that this will be the best presentation of your life. This will be the thing that people will be able to see, and this will help you your uh expand yourself in a sense of growth, that even if it was an opportunity for you to be able to become a manager or a supervisor, that this particular presentation is going to open up many doors for you. One thing that I do to accomplish this, because I do feel like writing, not just your words, but writing down things is very, very powerful, is that you need to write down your fears. Now, what I do is that if I'm feeling a whole lot of fear or self doubt, I take my time and write down all the feelings that I'm feeling. And the reason why is because I'm taking it out of my head, and I'm looking at it so I can see it, right? And then what I do, I get a garbage can and I tear up each particular fear, each particular challenge that I think I'm gonna have. And I tell myself, this is not gonna happen. Only positivity. Instead of me fearing that I'm not gonna do great on this presentation, this is gonna be the best presentation I'm gonna do in my life. And I take that piece of paper that has that negative self-doubt on it, I ball it up and I throw it in the garbage. Why am I doing that? It may seem silly. It's because I'm putting myself in control of my feelings, not allowing myself to be able to stay paralyzed in that mindset of self-doubt, feelings of fear, feelings of inadequacy. I am taking control and throwing it away. And I'm telling myself, and then I write down the positive, that this will be my best presentation. Something that small, you might feel like it's not going to work, but it does, because it allows you to be able to identify and recognize the problem that you have. Then it allows you to be able to see it, write it down, and then control it by balling up the paper and you're throwing it away. It's it's basically putting you in the driver's seat of your emotions and making sure that you rewrite your story on how you want it to be. You're getting rid of those negative emotions. The next thing is, you need to take small steps every single day to build your confidence, because at the end of the day, self-doubt, the fear of this, that, and the third is just that you also is giving you a great indicator that you need to build your confidence. At some point in your life, someone, something, or something greatly damage your confidence level or your ability to be able to self-soothe and able to build up your confidence. Or maybe you never even developed the skill to be able to build up your confidence. So this is a step that I feel that everyone should be taking. That's why people do affirmations or and like myself, I have certain Bible scriptures that I read, certain affirmations that I read, right? Because they're confidence builders. They're rewiring your brain to think positive versus negative. And so many of us have never been taught or never even think about that we need, if you don't naturally have that within your life, that you can do it for yourself and that you need to do it. You need to build your confidence because it helps you get over those insecurities. So build your confidence, celebrate your wins. Confidence also help grows when you acknowledge that you have progress, whether it's minor or big. You need to surround yourself with supportive people who uplift and encourage you. And if you don't have people that are in your physical life, then look, use social media for the positive. Follow people who are just talking about positivity. Use YouTube. Like people say YouTube University. There are a lot of positivity on YouTube. I mean, you have to dig a little bit to find it, but it's a lot of positivity on YouTube. It's a lot of positivity, to be honest, on all social media platforms. The problem is that we are bombarded by so much negativity more so than the positive, that you have to search and dig a little before you actually find the positive stuff. But you definitely can. I follow a lot of positive people. I'm not like this all the time. I have moments where I feel self doubt, where I feel less confident, where I feel that. And then when I do, I have people within my inner circle that are I call them my team of confident boosters. And then if they're not accessible at that moment, or maybe I say, I'm going to work through this myself. I have different motivational videos, different motivational songs, different books and stuff that I can read and watch on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram that is positive, that I go and I listen to it on repeat until my mindset's change. Remember, you feel regardless of the moment when you feel self doubt, because all of us will. I want you to know that you can overcome it. You can write down things in your journal. I have a win journal, WIN, win, where you can write down all of your accomplishments, whether big or small. Sometimes my accomplishment is that I got out the bed. Let me just keep it real. Sometimes my accomplishment for that particular day is that I just got out of the bed, honey. That I got out the bed, that I went and took a shower, then I went and brushed my teeth, that I ate healthy that day. Because sometimes, no matter how accomplished you are, no matter how confident you are on a regular basis, when that self-doubt, when that lack of confidence, when all of that stuff start coming up, sometimes it can hit you like a locomotive train. And you just be like, I don't even want to get up. I don't want to do life today. I don't want to do life today. Life is life. I don't want to talk to nobody on the phone. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to, I'm going to stay in this bed all day and waddle in my self pity. Sometimes I feel like that when I get overwhelmed. Yeah, me. Yeah. So I'm telling you, everybody feels this. It's just that some people don't admit it. All right. And I want you to hear me. And I'm putting myself being very open for the fact that I want you to understand that you're not alone. It's just that the difference between you and I is that I have different tips and strategies when I identify what I'm actually going through at that moment, and I start working my way through it. Now, sometimes I don't even want to work through it. I just waddle in it. Now I'm like, listen, today I am just staying in this bed. I don't care what going on, what opportunity is out here, what the invitation I get. I'm doing, the goal for the day is to do absolutely nothing. To do absolutely nothing. And let me tell you something. You might feel like that's not anything big, but to me, to do absolutely nothing, man, that is something, because I'm always doing something. I told my husband, I said, let me come to bed. I'm going to bed 6 o'clock. Cause I'm not gonna do not one more thing. Uh-uh. Okay, we have Ashley in the building. Yes, let me pop it up. Thank you for this. Just woke up trying to get some spark to move. Hee hee. Well, I'm glad, Ashley, this was able to help you. And I know that Mondays are usually the hardest day for most people during the week, is because you're just coming off of your weekend. You just start getting your groove with your weekend, and then all of a sudden it's over with, and then you got to get back to a regular life. You got to get back to that 9 to 5. You got to start taking the kids back to school. You have to, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to go ahead and start punch that clock. You go ahead and start. You got to do all these meetings, whatever it is that you're doing. You get back to square one on Monday, and you just be like, man, I don't want to do none of life be life, and I don't want to do none of that. I just want to just be free. I don't want to do nothing. But hey, we got responsibilities, right? So sometimes you don't want to do anything, but you have to do it anyway. And so this is to motivate you to kickstart your week for positivity. No matter what it is, I want you to understand that you have within you what, how can I say this? No matter what, I want you to understand that you have everything that you need within you in order to conquer this overwhelming feeling of self doubt when it occurs. You can build your confidence. You can overcome self doubt with these tips and strategies, and you can develop and have the life that you always wanted. Even if your physical life is not the total representation of who you are and what you want to become, you live as if you have already arrived at that moment. Meaning, you may want another house, but right now your income will not allow you. So, right now, the home or the apartment of which you're currently living in, you change that and make it feel like you're already in that particular place. So that might mean that you might change your curtains, you might put some throw pillows on the chair, different color. You might buy a little inexpensive lamp or repurpose some of your furniture, whatever it is to put you in that environment or in that space where you want to eventually become. Okay. And I have found that you just learn to be grateful for what you have, because I guarantee whatever you have, somebody is hoping, wishing, and praying for that exact same thing. So you may not think it's big or something, but to someone who don't have it, it is big. It is always someone on the face of the planet that don't have what you have, that they will wish to be in your shoes. No matter how good or how bad you feel your situation is, there is always a person or a group of people that will want to take your place to be able to have what you have. And sometimes we get so caught up with all this media, seeing all this luxury lifestyle and all this other stuff, that you feel like what you have is not good enough. What you have is not, whatever. And I'm here to tell you, listen, simplicity and being content and having a peace of mind, whoo, man, that's one of the best things that I have. Because at the end of the day, it's your peace. It's not the things that you have. It's that peace that make your day amazing. And I'm gonna speak on a whole video on peace in another video, because many people, we say peace, but we really don't understand what it means, and then how to actually obtain peace for yourself. So I'm gonna go deep into that, because I didn't really understand it until I start really working on myself to have that peace. And my life is totally different. Okay, totally different. So what I want you to do is don't let self doubt hold you back any longer. I want you to take one step at a time today. When that, I challenge you that when the fear of self doubt comes in, I want you to prove to yourself on today that you can accomplish whatever task is before you, and you can do it excellent. You can do it exceptional. You can do it very, very, very well. I want you to remember that the only way to fail is by you just not trying. Now, with you trying, that don't mean every time it's going to be done right. But the most important thing is for you to try. And the next thing I want you to do is make sure that you stay connected to CTR Media Network for more inspiration and actionable tips. Yes, I do. Because this, what you just experienced, is morning motivation with CTR Media Network, which is designed to fuel your life and or business, or if you work a traditional 9 to 5 job, giving you things that can actually help you grow, letting you know that it's going to be all right at the end of the day. It's going to be all right. For those of you who want to know the name to the sound of the voice of which you are speaking with this Southern twang, this is Dr. J. Ramsey, right here in the beautiful, beautiful city of South Carolina. I want you to get ready to amplify your voice and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs and creators. And how can you do that? You can do that by downloading the CTR Media Network app today for absolutely free. And once you get there, you're going to unlock exclusive content, live trainings, and you're going to be immersed in a positive community that is ready to help you elevate in any area of your life. I want you to stay connected with us anytime, anywhere, because it's not just me that's on CTR Media Network. We have over 30 something podcasters and TV hosts that comes on to give you inspiration, motivation, entertain you, and educate you on various different topics that stems from the beginning, dealing with your life, your business, your career, and everything that falls in between. They have amazing guests, and also they have those one-on-one solo conversations where it's just you and them. So go on over there to ctrmedianetwork.com. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon TV, Android TV, Apple TV, but we are also, if you don't have those devices, if you do not have those devices, see, I got to slow down. I tell you, my coffee not coughing today, it's not waking me up. If you don't have those devices, you do have a cell phone, because you talking to me now, and I'm pretty sure you're on your cell phone. So what I want you to do is go to your Google Play Store or go to your Apple Store, and I want you to search CTR Media Network. That's C as in Curtis, T as in Tina, R as in Ram Media Network. Okay, and download our app for absolutely free. Very soon, everybody that actually owns CTR Media Network on our TV side or inside of our newsletter, we're going to be sending extra tips and strategies, or the PDFs, to these discussions that we are having on these morning motivations. So now you'll have something in your hand for absolutely free. How about that? Because you know people charge a fee for stuff like that, but you're going to get that for free. We're actually in the works right now of being able to provide you guys with a PDF of the tips that we be giving you guys, because I know you can hear it, but it's something about hearing, seeing, and being able to actually print something off so that you can do, the mental checklist, or be able to have a physical checklist so that you can be successful in implementing these tips and strategies of which we are sharing with you on today. So if no one told you today that you matter, that you are worthy, that you are loved, I want to tell you that you are worthy, you matter. And if no one told you today that they love you, I want you to know that I love you. And yes, I can love you even though I don't know you, because I just want everybody to have their level of what winning is. Okay. And I want you to know that you have everything, I mean, everything within you to bring to fruition whatever type of life you want. You can remove what don't work, and you can bring in what does work for you. You have the power. Stop being them people pleaser. It is a life that will lead you into misery. You're good enough the way that you are. I want you to understand that. You're good enough the way that you are. And if you're around people who feel like you're not, then maybe you need to kind of switch around the people who you allow in too close to you. Okay? Because you're good enough. We all need to improve, but you're good enough as who you are right now. Let's see. Mr. H says conquering certain doubts is a lot like learning to swim or ride a bike. Although some people need to keep self-doubt about thinking, they can sing when they carry a tune in a bucket. Thank you, Mr. H, for being a fantastic moderator for us on today and being a CTR rider. Thank you, Ashley, for popping in on today. Make sure to hit that like, follow, subscribe and notification bell so you won't miss us on morning motivations. We go live every single day, every single morning. And also make sure to tune into all of our other shows. Let me see. Let me give a shout out. Jim, thank you for tuning in. Um, PK, thank you. Mr. Jet or Anthons, thank you for tuning in. Global Pass, Benjamin, just another not human. Ethan, dude, what's my name? Mr. Samuel, Brent, John, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you to our media sponsor, Swag Her Magazine, which is an amazing PR firm that can help you have more visibility for your business so people can finally know what you do and be able to connect with you. Yes, go on over to swagheronline.com and check out what they actually have to offer, and you can be able to follow them so that you can see their show. Their show actually streams on our YouTube channel as well. So, and we also stream over there to almost 300,000 people that Swag Her has. So we stream over there as well. That is one of our media partners. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you for being the best part, which is you. I will talk to you guys later. Yes, he said, I'm welcome. Mr. H said, you're welcome. Thanks for the mod upgrade. Oh, most listen, you a CTR rider. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you asked. I will tell Curtis howdy. I'll tell him howdy for you. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great, amazing rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Dreams do come true. I am showering on Netflix.
What I wish I knew when I started podcasting: how to get an awesome website in minutes. No technical knowledge, no problem. Podpage is designed for podcasters, not developers. Build a professional website in minutes, no coding required. Focus on your podcast, not your website. Join over 30,000 podcasters who trust Podpage to showcase their shows. It's easy, it works, it's made for you. Visit CTR Media Network and scan the QR code to get started now. Podpage, build it, love it, share it.